Hey Teddy, Indy here. I am going to try to record a quick video on this. Keep it under 30, maybe 15 to 20. See what I can jam in here. I didn't like prepare myself a teacher-oriented uh, lesson plan, so to speak. And yeah, every time you switch focus, OBS has to re-grab it, even as monitor capture. I don't know what's going on there. So this is the entire world, right? You saw that. This looks like fire, by the way. I took a closer look at this stuff. This looks like this entire place is on fire. And this is like some dead ashland or something like that. You started right there in the arid river region. I recognize it because of that island in the middle, which I totally see your temptation to go claim that. I started a few games on survival difficulty here in Enchanted Shoreline, and then no, I started it in traditional, the one that's supposed to be easier that they actually suggest for learning the game. Played a few times and was like, okay, I got this. And I went up to survival and I did that a handful of times and I was like, well, maybe I need to back up and go back down to survival. And tried that a few times and I got it up to the point where I had 220 population in here. Um, this just kind of shows like my spread and their spread. They are completely walled in right now here and then here. So I've got all this to claim and use. Um, that does piss them off a bit. Um, Anyways, and I got to the point where I did start shipping people and goods to this neighboring place. And I've started here, and I've made some really bad mistakes, which I'll talk about. Um, and I've just been struggling to survive. I either need to get my initial plan finished or abandon it entirely and try a different plan there. Over here on the left are achievements that you can unlock. So like right here, you'll say survive 63 days to unlock a goal. And then that goal will unlock and it might even be immediately completable. So right now, like grab 145 resources in Valencia. Well, that's going to be pretty easy. Send 20 villagers to Enchanted Shoreline. I don't know why I would do that, but I would do that just to get it. So if I click on it, I'll get 690 God experience, which is this bar number here, and get a perk. Oh, I can reset it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Oh, survive on 9 additional days to unlock a goal. Survive 10. And I unlocked this one. Process 20 rocky trash on Enchanted Shoreline, which basically means go to Enchanted Shoreline, play for a while, and probably do something to try to increase my rocky trash. Maybe tear down some walls or destroy rocky terrain, whatever. Cast 75 storms in Enchanted Shoreline. I've done it a few times, but that's a lot of storms. Um, so anyways, and what you get, so there are like these chests up here. Every time you fill this bar and reset that, it'll unlock a chest up here, which spends God experience to unlock, and you get these over here on the right randomly. So here's like plus 15% max energy. That's the thing that your burners are gonna create. That essence is energy as well. That's a really bad. They really should say energy or something like, or if essence or something like that. Plus 15 maximum social, which means they won't need to. Your people won't need to talk to each other as much. And plus 3% movement speed. Plus 5% fertility. Minus 10% wood golem charge time. Minus 10% crystal golem charge time. Things like that. Some of these have been really useful, and some of them are just nice little things. So let's jump into Valencia, where I've been there for, what did I say, like 15 days. So I'm in summer. You can see the little map here. I started here um, and saw that the corruption started right here. And there's this nice long wooded spot here. Like, not wooded spot actually, but hollow in between the woods, path in between the woods. And I was like, man, that's a great place to it's like a natural lane. So let me just bring them down this way for the tower. But because of pathing, they'd rather tear down my walls over here than go through this path up here. So I either have to change so that I make this the path they come in on, or um, I have to make this more costly from a pathing perspective than for the monsters to go up and over. So, um, And the perks and stuff are and experience points are tied to the game mode. So if you wanted to go down to traditional, you get to play there for a while, you'll unlock things, but you go back up to survival, you'll be right where you left off there. And you do, by the way, you do have to click on those things to see it go. So basically, like, it gives them a cost value to tearing down walls and a cost value to walking. And so I need to make this, I either need to make this path here more costly for them than going up and over and down, which I don't know how many walls that's going to take. See, and here they come. So I'm just going to use a grab spell and bring them over. What time is it? It's morning. I did stir the hornet's nest is what happened here. Oh man, and I don't have enough people here to handle this, do I? Oh, I just burned my tower more than anything there probably. That was a great job. Great job. And boom. Yeah, great. Golems have been really useful. This one would go better, but I screwed myself so bad on it. And see, these guys were only aggravated because of shooting down their stuff. And so now they're not triggered because it's daytime, it's morning. They're like, we want to go back home, and you can't. Around this. And there's some fighting going on over here. Oh, that's right. One of the slimes went on. So I think I'm gonna have to abandon that idea. What are my builders building? All right, they need to make the forge and work on those essence things. There's a ghost. I need some mana. Some influence. Ghosts are ghosts of your settlers that have died. I can see it kind of over there in the upper right by that forest patch and the flowers. I don't have a lot of essence to grab probably because my golems have been dying, and so my golem generators have been. I don't need it anymore. Stop. Oh no, that's a specter. I'm wondering why I saw a health bar. So that specter probably is there because of a banish spell. I probably banished him off that way, and he's just like, well, now I'm here, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, if that's the case, okay, I'm gonna need my builders then to change the plan. Alright, let's use as much as the rock as possible. Get my work computer up at the same time. So someone grew up, and my unhired population just went up. My unemployed population just went up. I've been struggling with food, so I'm putting them as a farmer. I do not have enough farmers employed. Wait, makeshift lightning rod destroyed. Where? That's really freaking annoying. Oh, Doesn't show me a lightning rod range because none of them are built yet. Okay, that's understandable. Gather up these influences to do what? To plant potatoes. Let's plant some potatoes. Right, and so you can. Here's the lumber shack. Now let's do carpenters. So this is the symbol for maintain to storage limit. So like right now here I have 74 with 0 storage remaining, and they'll just keep it that way. As I use it, they'll automatically come back and automatically stop. Now I could click beyond that, and it'll be infinity, and they'll just do that job forever. And I can left click down to 0. Or shift click, sorry. Shift clicked on the down, or shift click up. So that's also just a single click away. Or I can go down. It's whatever. Seen that. I created the destruction of a building created lots more trash, which is not great. Stone wall. No. Curtain wall. I thought I said to get rid of this. Of course, this is at an angle too. That's not the most fun. That'll work. Trying to create a wall there for some turrets to go behind. It might be easier if I went this side too, but we will see. We will see. But that's what I need my builders to be working on right now. When are they going to get around to this forge? My goodness, what are you builders doing? Oh, they're working on that essence collector. Okay. Now I know what they're working on. Collect these holy potatoes. Might as well. Tell them to destroy these. Oh, that's right. You can't control things that are outside your range, and walls cut off range if you see this nice solid line here, or this nice solid line right here. Walls cut off your range of control, and you cannot influence. Oops, sorry for all the scooting around. You cannot control buildings outside of your range of control. So I can't even tell this piece of wall to dismantle because it's behind this wall, which cut off my. My range of control, which means I should probably not build that, but I did because now I've lost this. Idiots. This is one of the trickiest things in this game for me to get is to build things before you build the walls. You got to build things before you build the. Oh, this person trapped themselves. Whenever you do that, people become confused. When they see magic, they're actually confused by magic. And then they'll stop doing things. Like if I was to drop a holy golem or a labor golem right here, they'd all just like stop doing what they're doing and be like, huh? What? Huh? And it'll delay work. Like when I summon a labor golem or a holy golem, I go somewhere where they're not, and I drop it, and I let them walk into wherever they need to go. One way I could take care of this is getting rid of those 2 spots that'll allow the influence to kind of come in this way again. needs. Just more mouths to feed, unfortunately. So rather than go around to each one of these buildings to do this, as I showed you last night, you can use this second tab on the left and go through. There are a lot of different sub-tabs in here. But like I said, especially if you just set things to go to capacity, you won't have to micromanage that part of the game. If that's something you're not liking, just tell it to bring it to capacity, or you could tell it to do a certain number. You could do that too. You know, you could tell it to bring it to 40 or whatever, and then just stop there. Walls, especially the big thick walls, take a decent amount. And like if you want to build your paths, like I know you like the way path, then that's gonna be expensive when it comes to resources, and so you'll want lots of stuff sitting around. So you don't want to worry about like, oh, that sounds like a good number. Like personally, I would build to completion, but that's a style of play. That's about how you manage your resources. So I'm definitely not saying like, hey, this is how you need to be playing the game. That is definitely not the case. I totally understand that this is really about your style of play, and maybe you want to like maximize your workers in a different way. Potatoes. I don't want to have any more food problems. Looks like I'm past having food problems because they're not even gathering those that are down there. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tear these buildings down. We'll leave up that ballista. We'll leave those two there, but those two are gonna get torn down. I'm gonna rebuild towers over here. Not the ballista tower. The ballista tower is wonderful for its range, but then it also does things like shoots those buildings, which then stirs up the hornet's nest and sends a bunch of enemies. And it's like, if you're not prepared for that, that is one of the worst things you can do for yourself. So I think to recover from this problem, I'm not even going to worry about. I need to put a fireplace up here. Look at this corruption encroaching. Here or there? Question. Put here. Here's a neat little trick you can do with the God Hand. Oh, always miss though. And it tells me that I'm doing it, but then it doesn't. There we go. I am feeding what that needs directly into it. Oop, that one missed. Okay, so the bad guys have already gotten here, and they have a path. So that's even more of my problem, is now they can pass in this way. So I'm gonna have to worry about like stripping these woods and blocking off walls and stuff like that. That's another view you can have, is maybe move cost would be the good one. Yeah, interesting. This guy must have spawned in this corruption because there's no move path directly through this. A couple different things I can do about this. One of the other things I could try doing is motivating the land and getting this forest to grow, and so that way that there's no open paths for them to take. I'm already at 20 minutes. I haven't shown you that much. I'm sorry. If this seems interesting, I can show you more. I guess this is the problem when I didn't actually plan out what I wanted to show you. Got my 2 farms over here, my ranger hall, 2 chicken coops, and 1 animal pen? Oh, I haven't built a second animal pen yet. Been placing buildings all over. Tight sounds good for defense, but each building, here I'll show, this is the last thing I'll show you. Each building has a range, build range. Each building creates more of that range that you can build on, this range you can build on. So by placing, and it's based off of this, like, some place in the building. I don't know which part of the building it's at. This isn't widely available information, but some people do some science and math and try to figure it out. So the lumber mill, where I make boards out of wood, generates 32 space. So when I placed it, I got like a lot of this range right here, because it came out from the lumber mill. So when you place it close to the town close together, when you make it compact, you get a much more easily to defend place, and your villagers clearly aren't having to travel as far, so all that travel time is reduced. I mean, look at my travel time. I'm building over here, I'm lumbering over here, and my guys are not walking on paths, and honestly, it's probably killing my work efficiency. But by placing further apart, I also get larger build range. So that extends my build range. Doesn't extend my influence or my anti-corruption. Actually, I think it does. Take a look at that. Corruption resistance. Yeah, it builds that too. And that's really why fireplaces are so awesome. They provide light, so dark times it helps you see. But basically, it's the cheapest and simplest thing to build. Just takes wood, which is so easy to get, and extends corruption resistance and build range. And you notice that actually the corruption resistance goes through walls and things, right? Like I made the mistake one time. Here's another one of my mistakes, like cutting off this fireplace I did earlier. I built a fireplace or fire pit up. I built up a wall, and then after the wall was built, I took off the fire pit, which removed, because walls don't create build range or anything like that. So build range, corruption resistance, anything like that. And so it removed the corruption resistance, the corruption extended. And if you look down here in your information, you can't scroll this unfortunately, but occasionally you'll get like a shake and you'll see that something's been destroyed, and you might be running around your town like, where did I lose such a building? Blah, blah, blah. What's actually going on is, there are these buildings out there that you can claim. Like, there's a mineral storage I could claim. Well, I can't because I don't have range, but it's out there. A key or a box. It's another box, who cares? As the corruption extends, corruption itself will destroy this building. And so what happened is I pulled my fire pit away from the wall after I built the wall, because now that I had build range there, I didn't need, I thought, I don't need the fire pit now here to worry about the wall. So I removed the fire pit, because it was close to my town, but it removed the corruption resistance. So the corruption just spread right into my walls and destroyed the walls. And it's dusk, here come the bad guys. And I don't have any extra towers. In fact, I've removed towers, which is wonderful. So I think what I'm going to do right now is throw out a holy golem to try to help stem the tide. While I build towers and such. Alright, well, that's enough to show you. I've taken enough time. Makeshift force completed. Great! Alright, oh, and I've got those 5 people I haven't even put to work yet. Oh, gosh. Let me get double smelters for now. And then I need rangers. I need people to fight. Because I'm just so far behind. Okay, production set. Shift click to maintain a total availability. That will generate iron ingots, which I can use to put up my lightning rod towers. And other things, like armor. All right. Hope that's been somewhat fun. Sorry it went 25 minutes and I feel like I really didn't get to show you much. All right. Save, exit. Yes. And then it'll give me the summary of got experience points. Blah, 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 blah. I haven't unlocked anything. I haven't got a new achievement, so there's really nothing here for me to do. I've probably gotten to the part where it slows down if I don't specifically do the achievements on the left. Yeah, so if Valencia becomes successful, I can send people out to Azura or Narrow Path. Enchanted Shoreline could also send to Narrow Path and to Coast Bridge. And obviously, as maybe the looks of my map looks different, like each one of these basic colored regions, I feel like they may play a little differently because of the natural resources and the landscape. By the way, he did not randomly generate this map. He said the other day he actually hand designed this map. Apparently, a lot of people say that you should start on Survival Island. I don't know why. I think they said because there's only two places that the corruption will start, and if it starts down here, it's really easy to block off and then just have the rest of the island to yourself. I don't know why I started with Enchanted Shoreline, but I just did because I was familiar with the terrain. I just did it over and over and over. Too much talking? See you later, Teddy.